You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
Breaking last night, New York Times released an article that there were members of the Mueller investigative committee and several of them had called the New York Times and other news outlets, indicating that they were in great disagreement with Bill Barr's assessment and conclusion of the Mueller report. Indeed, they were stating, and I will further read, that what Bill Barr was stating about no collusion and about the decision regarding obstruction of justice, Trump not being exonerated, was greatly misleading. Now that's very polite talk. That's where these polite people talk. Me, I just say they were flat out lying. Because that's exactly what they were doing. That Mueller lied. And that's what, not one, not two, but several members of the investigative team that have worked on the Mueller report for the past 3 years are watching this unfold before their very eyes. And they're saying that what Bill Barr is saying is not the report they rewrote. In fact, they've gone ahead and said as much as that each one of those segments of the obstruction of justice or the collusion have its own summary. In other words, the writers, and you people who write, you understand this, you've been in school once or twice, you write the report and then you summarize it. Well, Mueller could have just used a summary from each one of the reports that were written by Mueller or by his investigative team, rather than what Bill Barr used was his own summary, and they said it was a flat out lie. And so now there's more pressure on Bill Barr because now he's being called by Mueller and Mueller associates as a liar, skinflinter, trying to protect the orange-haired orangutan, the pathological liar, Donald J. Trump, Tribulation Trump. But here, let me just read some of Mueller's teams, and I'm quoting now, say report was more damaging than Barr had revealed. And we all know that. Everybody knows that. But these people are trying to get away with bloody murder. Bill Barr is saying, oh, no collusion. Trump ran around, oh, no collusion. While at the same time, but don't show him the report. Don't show him the report. And everybody jumping up and down on the Republican frog bench, talking about, oh, they're just on a witch hunt now. Oh, they're going through graveyard procedures. Oh, they're trying to extend well, show us the report, man. If it exonerated Trump, show us the report. Anyway, some of Robert Mueller's third investigators have told associates that Attorney General William P. Barr failed to adequately portray the findings of their inquiry and that they were more troubling for the president than Mr. Barr indicated, according to the government officials and others familiar with their simmering frustrations. At stake in the dispute, one is the first evidence of tension between Mr. Barr and the special counsel's office, who shapes the public initial understanding of one of the most consequential government investigations in American history. Some members of the Mueller team are concerned that because Mr. Barr created the first narrative of the special counsel's finding, America's view will have hardened before the investigation conclusions become public, and on and on and on. Mr. Barr has said he will quickly release the nearly 400-page report, but needs time to scrub out confidential information. The special counsel's investigation had already written multiple summaries of the report, and some team members believe that Mr. Barr should have included more of their material in the 4-page letter he wrote on March 24th, laying out their main conclusions according to the government officials familiar with the investigation. Mr. Barr only briefly cited the special counsel's work in his letter. So here's the deal. This is really frightening. Not that it hasn't gone on before, but Bill Barr, who wrote a 17-page letter or a statement regarding how he thought, first of all, a sitting president cannot be indicted. Secondly, a sitting president cannot commit obstruction of justice. Quoting Richard Nixon going back some years ago, if the president does it, it's not illegal. And that's exactly what Bill Barr did. And he put it out there on Fox News and CNN. Tribulation Trump picked up on it, brought him in, got rid of the other fellow, Matthew, what's his face, and now brought him in and so now Bill Barr, who looks like Fred Flintstone, is actually lying about what the Mueller report actually says. And the Mueller report associates and said, no, you're not going to lie on us like that. But the fear is this, is that now that Barr has put it out there, that people are going to believe Barr other than the Mueller report itself once they see it in black and white. My concern is this, is why the hell did Robert Mueller just come out and make some definite, well, maybe he did, we don't know. Maybe Robert Mueller made some definite recommendations and summary conclusions saying this needs to go to Congress. We don't know that. We need to see the report. But, I tend to disagree that the public will be hardened against the truth of the report because Bill Barr has already put that lie out there. Bill Barr, the Attorney General for the United States of America, is lying on one of the most consequential investigations that have ever happened in American history on whether or not a foreign influence was able to put Donald J. Trump, and Russia in particular, in office. One of the most consequential investigations in the history of our republic. And yet, the beat goes on. And Trump said a few days ago, well, let the report come out. I have nothing to hide. I'm innocent. I have no collusion, no obstruction. Now that the report has been codified, no, we don't want to report, hide it. Bill Barr wants to redact everything out of it except for the words no collusion. But Trump's ship is sinking, my friend. I can tell you that right now. This is a bit of a news blog we do looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.